Nikola Tesla is remembered as the father of alternating current, but behind the patents and motors, he was driven by intense, precise compulsions. He famously washed his hands exactly 3 times in a row. This rigid mathematical pattern dictated his daily routine. Before entering a building, he would walk around the block 3 times. When he checked into a hotel, he insisted his room number be perfectly divisible by 3. He eventually summarized this fixation in a single sentence: "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe." Decades later, that single quote fractured into 1,000 internet rumors. It mutated from a mathematical hypothesis into manifestation tricks, self-help cults, and online pseudoscience. A century of speculation has completely obscured whatever actual physics Tesla was trying to point out. So, to strip away the myth, we need an entirely different kind of brain to look at the math. What happens if we bypass the mysticism completely? We took Tesla's ultimate riddle and fed it directly into a modern artificial intelligence model. We gave the machine strict boundaries: no philosophy, no manifestation. It was instructed to evaluate 3, 6, and 9 strictly against established physical laws, physical geometry, and base 10 mathematics. The goal is simple. We are asking the algorithm to determine if Tesla was suffering from apophenia, the tendency to find patterns in random noise, or if he actually identified an underlying mathematical code. To get an objective answer, the first step is to have the algorithm map out the most foundational mathematical blueprint. We have how things physically grow in nature. This diagram illustrates binary doubling. It's the exact pattern biological cells use to divide and multiply. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, then 8, 16, and 32. To analyze this sequence, the AI applies a concept called the digital root. This is where you reduce multi-digit numbers down to a single digit by adding them together. 16 becomes 1 plus 6, which is 7. 32 becomes 3 plus 2, which is 5. 64 reduces to 1. When you continue this math infinitely, the result is a closed loop. The digital roots always repeat in the exact same order: 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Look closely at those digits. 3, 6, and 9 are entirely missing from this dataset. The math governing biological growth and cellular division operates perfectly without ever touching a 3, a 6, or a 9. This tells the AI that if these numbers have a function, they must exist in a completely separate system. We prompted the algorithm to look outside the biological loop. Mathematically, the system that governs these isolated numbers is often referred to as vortex math. Here is how that separate system works. If you double 3, you get 6. If you double 6, you get 12, which reduces to a digital root of 3. Double 12, you get 24, which reduces back to 6. The AI identifies this as an oscillating system, a governing frequency that overseeing the physical 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 loop, without ever directly intersecting it. But even as a distinct frequency, 3 and 6 are still bouncing back and forth. They are mathematically subservient to the final piece at Tesla's sequence. To evaluate the number 9, the AI shifts its model away from arithmetic and applies it to physical geometry. This graphic represents a perfect circle, measuring exactly 360 degrees. Apply the digital root to those 360 degrees. 3 plus 6 plus 0 equals 9. Divide that circle in half, and you get a 180-degree semicircle. 1 plus 8 plus 0 equals 9. You can keep having this geometric angle infinitely. 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 22.5 degrees. No matter how small the fraction gets, the digits always add up to exactly 9. The algorithm flags this as a mathematical certainty. The number 9 does not oscillate or divide. It remains the constant digital root that dictates the geometric structure of a circle. The data model confirms the symmetry. 9 acts as the fixed blueprint of the geometry, while 3 and 6 function as the alternating forces driving the system. The result of this analysis shows that the 3-6-9 sequence relies on actual base 10 mathematical symmetry governing nature and frequency. What makes this remarkable is the timeline. Nikola Tesla managed to intuitively perceive this exact mathematical architecture using only his mind, nearly a century before the first computer could map it out. It requires massive arrays of modern silicon processing power today just to visualize the structural code that Tesla was calculating in his head. Artificial intelligence is proving to be an incredible tool, not because it replaces human insight, but because it acts as a translator to validate the intuition of the past. Tesla recognized this symmetry a century ago, using only his mind. Today, the algorithm has provided the data-driven verification to prove that his obsession was grounded in the fundamental laws of geometry. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves a good mystery.